All right, so
I was gonna grab a snack. I will be right back.
Yep, go ahead and grab a snack. We're not quite fully back yet. We can still table talk a bit. Casimir, if you have any ideas or thoughts as you see this odd something in the horizon, or this wave of energy washes over you and you just feel invigorated. There's something, your muscles are a little bit leaner or more flexible. Your mind is a little clearer. Maybe there's that one spell that you've been working on for a while, and maybe now you could cast it, or whatever's happening with your character here. But this is the opportunity to in or out of character talk about such things.
Sorry, I'm still leveling up. So I had a slow start.
Okay.
Oh, curry? Curry sounds really good. Is it super spicy, or are you going for more of like an aromatic, savory variety? Raven says, it's just a Queen concert, you're good. Oh, some German potato salad, 12 for 10. This is truly a D&D game now. We're eating food at our table. We're leveling up. We have our noses in books. There's a looming threat on the horizon.
This is one of the few times I don't have like popcorn or something.
In Final Fantasy VII, the meteor is looming. Destruction is nigh. But there's time for, 50 side quests first.
Yeah, it's time to go to the Golden Saucer.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, hopefully I can get into proper melee combat, because this is a melee character.
When I control him.
Stay close to me.
He has a bad eye, and you make him do range.
I am here.
When Casimir hunts, he looks his kill in the eyes as he's chopping its head off.
Mm-hmm. This is the only way to do it. Proper way.
Well, are you good to go, Casimir? Or do you still need a minute on something? Or do you have most of your stuff done?
I am set.
Okay. All right. And all my spellcasters have your spells for the day. If it makes any difference, that hill is probably a mile or so away. Maybe a little bit more than a mile. So it's not like 300 feet and then you're going to crest over it. So you have time to advance, for any of your spells, if there are any buffs that you want to put up. Which, by the way, Casimir, Bright is lavender? Lavender skinned? And
yeah, I noticed that, and I'm waiting for explanation.
Okay.
I would have explained it to you.
Okay. I still don't get it, but okay.
It's weird. Don't worry about it.
All right, then. I will put my salsa con queso to the side so that I may narrate.
Just to put that there while we're walking. This one?
Natural explorer, coast, forest, and mountains. I would say we are in grassland currently.
Don't know.
However, that could change. We will see, but it's good to know that you have that. You are definitely too far inland for the coast.
Yep.
Oh.
That was just me testing a spell.
Okay.
It works.
Did any of you... I don't know if any of you need... Did you need to spend any hit dice or anything? Or are you all topped
Did a
off?
long
wait.
rest.
No? Okay.
Way
We
good.
took a long rest. We're
Long
good.
rest.
Okay.
Long rest.
All right. I said I'd put the salsa con queso away, and I didn't do it. And there's one more chip in front of me. So... Oh,
Finish him.
there's two more chips in front of me. My goodness. No. I have to stop.
Do it.
Bad Matty. No. It's
it.
going in
Do
the
it.
bag. Oh,
Do it.
Damn it.
the double
Do it.
sauce must go.
Do it now. It has
This is what you call peer pressure.
Unlimited power. Oh, little did you know that this was here fully operational here, salsa.
I mean, it has a very full flavor profile.
Do it.
All right, so instead I just have a nice wild cherry. Which, meanwhile, presumably back in Mask of Horns, there's a certain vampire who's been making the rounds. Talking to her, well, not her old crew per se, but to others of her affiliation. All right. Well, you all have been energized. I mean, you can share this. You know, you're not sparking or anything. But all of you just have this invigoration. There's just something about right now it's not just adrenaline. That very well could have been brought up in conversation. It's not just tension. You've rested, you're up, and yes, we're in a, not sure a fight or flight, but we're in this weird moment. But there's just something about each of you. A little bit more potential has been fulfilled. And I should ask as well, do any of you look different? Is this, not that you have to be, but in the description of the mechanical process of leveling up, does something change about your character? Do you have a streak of white in your hair, or does something happen that might reflect a new spell or a new trait or something along those lines?
Mordecai has actually finished working on a couple of new songs.
Okay, yeah, and certainly you've been working on them for a while, but you think that they're good to test now.
Yep.
Okay, and you are still a mushroom person, though, just as a heads up. Not that that's affecting your bardic whatevers, but you are still mushroomy in appearance. Celine, Casimir, Bright, Jacob, do any of you look a little different? Skin, eyes, hair, fingernails?
I have a couple more pages filled in my spell book.
Okay. Inspiration struck you during breakfast? It was a very good sausage, I guess. Oh, no, you don't eat sausage.
Need that.
It was a very good...
It's a water sausage.
Reminds me, I need to check off our rations, because I'm still eating rations.
Good call. Good call.
I should know about this. I did not hunt, apparently.
Oh, you were getting over your ordeal. It was a tough day.
My ear is no longer ringing. That is good.
No, it's not technically ringing when it's from a cricket. It's chirping.
I'm pretty sure it was right.
Jacob may, to somebody who's maybe more observant, seems to have.
Always very observant.
seems to have almost like under his shirt some form of neck tattoo that just seems to be there. Maybe you just didn't notice it before, but it just seems to be coming out like he has a tattoo that's on his back and it's starting to go over his shoulder and up his neck.
Was that there before?
What where? Sorry, let me go back and Jacob. What where?
That tattoo on your neck.
I've had these tattoos for at least 3 years now.
I'm not talking about
Celebratory
these,
of rank.
I'm talking about right here.
I don't have tattoos there.
I pull out a mirror and I show it to you.
He looks into the mirror. See, no tattoo.
You all have a light source, but just as a heads up, you'll need to provide a light source.
I use the dancing lights and
Yep.
I illuminate it.
He looks in the mirror, shakes his head.
But it's right there.
You feeling okay, Mordecai?
Do the rest of us see this?
Did I give... You didn't get more your hands on more Lucifers again, did you?
No. I mean, we've been out in the wild.
He
Yes,
hasn't
but you
moved.
were hiding them in your underwear last time.
They were not in my underwear, they were in my bag. To be fair.
Can you really trust anything you believe at this point? At this point, you're seeing things. I think you may be hallucinating, and we've already ended up catching you with an illegal substance. Anyway, that's beside the
want to
point.
believe me, that's fine.
It's quite all right. Oh, it's not a matter of belief, whether I believe you or not. It's what the evidence ends up entailing. So, at this point, the only facts I have is the fact that you end up carrying an illicit substance. That's neither here nor there. That being said, Bright said you said that you were tinkering around with some form of magic, yes? Does that imply that you broke the sky?
I think the sky's been broken for a couple of hours now, actually.
I don't think little one could reach that high.
Yes, but... He pauses and decides to not say what he was about to say. Please, I've already been hampering on and on about it enough. At this point, they get the point. But, that being said, sky is a miss, and at this point, I think enough time has passed. Jacob takes a look at the tracks he's left in the grass.
Yeah, it's the grass has a natural. It's springtime, so it's being reinvigorated. The wind does blow it, and it kind of puffs back up. However, in a particular part where you were really just digging in, kind of kicking up a clod of dirt with the grass as well. You do see that it just sort of snaps back after a little bit to where it was.
It would appear we are caught in a singular moment of time.
What gives you that thought?
Probably the fact the sun has not come up.
Well, observe. He does the same thing in the exact same location. Takes a step back, waits, and I believe you said it seemed that everything was resetting in about a minute.
About a minute, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, just observe. And...
That would certainly lead one to that conclusion, yes.
Well, that's one conclusion. It doesn't help that the star is in the sky has been performing the exact same action over and over again.
Mordecai, make an investigation at advantage.
I'm also very perceptive. I probably would have noticed this at some point.
Well, you've noticed the clouds, you've noticed the waving grass. Jacob jumpstarts your mind in this particular instance, and with an 18, you now see a pattern that, you're not just looking out over a dark field. And remember, too, looking out over a dark field, perception is at disadvantage, even if you have dark vision, because it counts as dim light. But with your dancing lights out and Jacob here, Jacob brings up a very good point where it was something you didn't notice, or you noticed but you didn't process it. But you look at the way that the grasses are blowing, and there's a certain point where a blade of grass just starts bending, and then while the breeze seems to continue, it just sort of like glitches and snaps back, and then it starts blowing again. And you look up at the sky, and the clouds are roiling with the wind, as they have been, because it has been windy. And you look up, and there's just it's very subtle because of the darkness. I mean, your lights don't go all the way up that high, but if you're looking at where the clouds are illuminated and where things are roiling, and it's distant, it's subtle, but you do see this kind of moment. You see the moment where a cloud does move into a little bit of a roll, and then it just seems to be smooth again, and the roll comes back about 20 seconds later, passes through, and things just continue. So the sky is windy, the field is windy, but there's definitely a reset point after a minute or thereabouts.
Right, were you playing with the space-time continuum again?
I mean, a little, but I don't think I did this.
You don't think, or you don't know, or you're sure you didn't?
Well, I
You
mean,
all know, after all. It's weird. We've heard
Yeah.
weirder things from you.
No, it's true. So I'm pretty sure I didn't do this. I mean, I was experimenting with wild magic last night. I can't lie. I mean, I could lie. No, I can't lie. My people can't lie. But
That unto itself is a lie.
Christina.
I mean, this statement is false. But
The
yeah,
following
so-
statement is true, the preceding statement is false.
Right, exactly. So, but I mean, I was just playing with wild magic a little, but I mean, that was before all this happened. It wasn't like this when I did that. Everything was normal, and then I came back in. Except I did turn purple. Am I still purple?
It has been...
Over 8 hours.
Yeah, it's been... yeah.
It
So
has
your mage
been
armor
1
would be
minute.
down. You wouldn't be purple anymore.
Subjective time, it's been 8 hours. So, yeah, I mean, there is magic that can make this sort of thing happen. I mean, there's a spell called Time Stop, where magic just stops the whole world for everyone except for you. Except, that's a really hard spell, and I don't know how to cast it. And it doesn't last for very long. It only lasts for, well, I mean, it doesn't last for any time at all, unless you're the one who cast it. Because, I mean, right? But even if you're the one that cast it, it only lasts for less than a minute. And this has been going on for a long time. So, I guess what I'm saying is, I don't think I did this.
It was ever since those that big shape and those lights appeared on the horizon.
Well, then I guess we know where we're going.
It appeared roughly halfway between everybody's sleep. Thereabouts. I can't be certain because I don't have a timepiece, but
I wish I had a timepiece.
My sundial only works here during the day, I'm sorry to tell you. Very well then. Let's move on.
I say we go towards that and see what happens.
All right.
Hopefully it involves fomorians, so we can end up getting this all straightened out and be home before dinner.
I bet
before
5
lunch?
GP. I bet 5 gold pieces. It totally has something to do with Chernaruth.
Why
Okay.
do you come to that conclusion?
I'm sorry, but when else do you see screwy stuff like this?
I mean, we can't actually be certain. We've never seen this creature.
Well,
What's
that's
the
why I'm
amount?
betting 5 gold pieces on it now, aren't I?
Done. 5 gold pieces.
The wager has been made.
I'd watch that bet.
Mordecai
You
bears
just saw it
witness.
made. Jacob starts walking over because now somebody's about to owe him money.
You have been out of pocket a lot here, especially in town. All right.
Basically, I just give you guys one of my paintings and be like, yeah, go ahead and split it amongst yourselves.
12 for 10, 5 gold on the weird one. You got to be specific. 12 for 10. Come on, you can't just.
A little too broad. But yes, we start moving towards and
Okay.
see if time changes for one. So I'm gonna be watching the clouds. I'm gonna be watching the grass. I'm gonna do all of that to see if us getting closer advances time.
Very well. You are walking.
Hey,
Oh,
what happened to Jasper? Is he still around? What?
He's still around.
Okay.
Also, he got a long rest. He needs full HP.
Just wondering, because, I mean, he couldn't have fit in the hut, so he must have been outside.
He would have been, yeah.
Okay.
all right. So you're walking. It's about a mile to the hill. Beyond general observances, are any of you casting any spells? Are you long striding, magically teleporting, buffing, anything like that?
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Mage Armor.
Okay.
It's
Are
in
you
my normal
using
procedure, not the Norali Mage Armor.
Okay. All right.
That was just an experiment, and I would like to finish that whole thing that we had planned, but we might have other priorities right now.
Okay. So Mage Armor's cast. Anyone else? I'm not hearing anything. So, all right. A marching you will go. It's only a mile, so doesn't take terribly long. However, as you are approaching, it does start getting subtly warmer when you're getting to the hill, and the spring night air was chilly. It wasn't terribly dry. It's not wintry air, and it's certainly, because it rained, it picked up a little bit of blowing over the grasses and the ground and everything. It picked up some humidity, but it is growing warmer and more humid the closer to the hill that you are getting.
I mean, it's kind of nice. It reminds me of home, but it's not the right weather for here.
It would be weird. I've traveled the island most of 10 years. It would be weird for this particular part of the island to be this warm, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this is certainly, especially with this being so localized to this oddity that is shining light on the clouds.
Mm.
Okay.
Definitely keeping my eyes open, just peeled, watching for anything.
Okay.
At this point, Jacob feels the need to pull out an old investigating tool of his and places on what seems to be a set of welding goggles.
Ah, very good.
Wasn't sure you had gone. What are those?
Eye protection.
Fair enough.
I exist in a very dangerous profession.
At the base of the hill, we move from darkness into dim light, as you can now see the shape of some very tall trees. Ones that definitely are not native. To this island. They'd be trees almost like you'd see in Uct Bright, but they're not Uctan trees, though they share the enormity, the well-fettedness of the trees of the jungle. And also, just beneath a great many of them, you are seeing some very large mushroom caps. And right now you're at the base of the hill looking up. So you can see with better clarity. These aren't necessarily to scale that you're seeing on the map. This is simply showing that now that you're closer, you can see what is peeking out above the hilltop.
So
How far is the top of the hill?
Top of the hill is just a quarter mile or so. Most of the traversing was overland here. Now you just have to go actually up the hill.
Did anyone get a strange, familiar feeling?
I don't like this at all.
I don't like it at all.
I
This is
mean,
new to me.
Mushrooms, huh? Well, that seems to be.
I'm not even thinking the mushrooms. I'm thinking the tree.
they're all equally bad. This is
Mold
obviously
tree.
a Fey presence. And the thing is that time, traditionally, I don't know about these Fey because they're all weird and stupid. But traditionally, time is different for Fey. So if there's a Fey, like a really major Fey incursion, it could change the normal flow of time. And I've already been a year in the real world. Who even knows?
If maybe something like what happened in Browbeat?
Yeah, could be.
What do you mean what happened in Browbeat?
When we went into the mines of Browbeat to find survivors from an avalanche, most of us fell asleep, and the next thing we knew, we were in some kind of Fey encampment.
And when we were there, no time passed in the real world. But, it could have. We were in there for a long time.
We were in there for like, a day and a half? 2 days?
Yeah, we were in there overnight. But then when we came back out, it had only been a few minutes.
Time is really screwy when it comes to Fey.
Well, let's move on. I have coin to earn.
With 5 gold pieces on the line, Investigator Jacob Stillwaters continues the trudge up the hill.
I follow behind.
And we have to keep going. And watch out for any, flesh trees.
That's what I'm looking for. Just so we can avoid them.
All right. You crest the top of the hill, and when you look down, you see an area that is very dark, save for the light that is given off by the mushrooms. There is a pool of water that seems to be, well, maybe more of a spring, as you're seeing water kind of bubble up in the middle. And it's kind of bloop, 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 bloop. Little ripples are going out to the edge from a little mound of water in the middle here. And all kinds of interesting plants that do not grow in Mesomasca are nestled around this water in this kind of displaced area. Now, you are up on a hill looking down. You're not in this forest. But as you crest the hill, a warmth and a humidity. It's not like super humid jungle, but it is warmer, it is more humid, very comfortable, despite it being dark, rolls up the hill and washes over all of you.
I am purposefully playing my counter charm.
Okay, so you're what instrument are you playing?
My violin.
Violin? Okay. You're working on your spell?
Just to make sure.
Okay.
Jacob immediately puts his hand out to Celine.
Muted.
Up.
You're muted.
It's in Mordecai's bag.
Pay up.
Well, then get it out of the bag.
You're not taking my gold.
No, my part of the gold of the party gold. Remember, you're carrying all of the gold.
You were
That's
betting
for
money you
the
didn't
party
get.
to decide.
Celine, did you bet party gold to a party member?
it means he gets a little bit of my share.
There's no shares in party gold. It's all one. You have no share. There's no distinguishing factors here.
You guys
It
should
is
have
just
put
a
the
pile of gold.
money like down on the table, or in this case, Mordecai's son, beforehand.
Jacob, I will gladly give you 5 gold.
Just so he's the one who's carrying the money.
He gestures out to, well, our wonderful here, Mr. Silverleaf. Takes all the 5 golds. Now, Celine, you need to ask yourself one question. How did Investigator Stillwaters know? Go ahead, ask me.
No, I don't think I did.
Ask
I'm
me.
just kidding.
Go ahead. Come on.
No, I'm just gonna cast it.
Won't even let me have the bit. Okay.
Well, it's not that I won't let you have the bit, it's that Celine won't let you have the bit.
Just cut me off at the kneecaps every time.
Whoever said I was a nice person?
Oh, boy.
I think I've come to this conclusion. You're not a nice person.
All right,
I'm
everyone,
trying
and
to
they
nice.
were never heard from again. Good game, everyone. This was an awesome year and a quarter. Hi, Raven and Baloo. Thank you for lurking in the weird mushroom forest.
Well, I mean, I did, but
And I'm still playing the counter charm just in case anything decides to try and charm them. Or me.
Yep,
So-
you are actively counter charming. You're at the top of the hill looking down. These gigante trees are rising up above the hill that you had to climb.
None of them look like they're made of flesh, do they?
No, none of them do.
Thank God.
They might have some like spongy mosses or some fungal stuff, but they're not looking like flesh that you've seen before.
So I'd like to ask Peggy Sue to do me a little favor. Can you, I know, to one of these mushrooms and take a little bite for me? Sort of thing that crickets eat. So hopefully it'll be tasty, and tell me how it compares to the normal.
Okay, so you
She's Fae. Remember, she's Fae.
Yes. You send now. Peggy Sue will be over 100 feet away, so she'll do it, but you won't be able to get feedback immediately. She'll have to come back, unless you want to go down. You want to go down the hill, down into this kind of uncanny valley of.
Oh, I don't want to go into the uncanny valley. I'm kind of already there. No, I thought we were closer. That's all. We'll wait until we get closer.
Sure. Okay.
We're gonna move closer as a group. Yeah.
Okay. So boop, 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 boop. You're making your way down the hill. Casimir, you are now entering a forested area. You're feeling this is really weird. Though with all the fairy tales and the things that you've been experiencing, maybe your heart actually like, ooh, this could be a good hunt. You are feeling more comfortable in a woodland setting. Despite this being bizarro woodland, this would still be woodland for purposes of your natural explorer. And presumably your Fae favorite enemy, though no Fae have made themselves present except that little cricket that little cricket's back. It turns as it's out and Bright's talking to it, kind of like leans over and says hi to you, lifts a little cricket arm to you.
I am going to spend a spell slot
Ooh, primeval awareness.
and be aware of my surroundings.
For 1 minute, per level of the spell slot, you can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you. Aberrations,
6 miles.
celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
6 miles.
6 miles. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Or within 6.
Okay.
Yes, that's true.
That is level 1 spell.
All right. You Is this just a yes or no they exist in the range, or does this put them on a radar screen for you also? I forget.
Nope, this one just, they're there. It doesn't give a radar screen. Not like the revised one does.
Yeah, the revised one is way better.
Okay. You pick up... let's see. You pick up 2 Fae and 1 undead.
Well, I know which one's this, I think.
And you also pick up... you also pick up a dragon.
And a celestial.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That's true. And a celestial. Yeah.
Guys. There is a dragon.
Could be Orlan's.
Well,
I sense it.
yes, but also no. If Orlan's, like, he took the form of a dragon, but I thought he was Fae.
He was a phony dragon, but he wanted to be a real dragon, and maybe he, like, finished.
There's
Or,
also
you know, maybe...
Or there's another dragon down there.
I mean, it could be. Could be
Maybe
Siphonic's, too.
Yeah, it
I
might
mean,
be. Yeah,
he was,
maybe we might run
he
into
was never
Shadow.
confirmed dead.
Yeah,
So-
let's
They
be
sense a
cautious.
Yeah, if there's a dragon down there, we need to be careful.
Should I stop
It
the
would be-
song?
It would be
No,
amazing.
keep the song going.
No, keep the song. We definitely need that. So, how many Fae and things did you find?
2 Fae?
2.
Pretty sure we know. Well,
Weird
there's
number.
one, right?
So far, I have enough manacles to cover them all.
Selene is kind of a fae.
Yeah, and she's got Jax
So far, I
in
have
her,
enough
maybe?
manacles to cover them all.
Oh no, that's being suppressed by the fomorian eye.
So that's
But
weird,
would
because
I
the
still think-
Fomorian eye is gone. So why is that still suppressing?
Oh wait, is the well no, I still have the eye.
Oh, I thought
Yes,
she took it with her.
the eye...
Yeah, I still have the eye.
Yeah, the eye is in Celine's
It
possession.
transformed them, but they didn't take it.
Oh,
Yes.
I misunderstood. I've been misunderstanding this whole time.
No,
Okay.
it's fine.
Um,
Celine still has
To
the
be
eye.
fair, I did for the first bit too.
Okay. So one of them is Peggy Sue, and the other one, I guess, could be Jax or the Fae half of Celine.
Selene, yeah.
But there's a dragon down there.
Yes.
I suppose we have to go and have a look
It could
from a
be-
distance.
So
Distance? Who does
Are we
distance?
wanting to be quiet? Because this isn't gonna be quiet if I'm using this song to keep you guys from, getting your mind turned and things. I was fearing
be
this
fair,
I make
flash
stealth
tree.
checks with disadvantage. It's not.
if there's only 2 Fae nearby, I think stealth isn't maybe necessary right now. But then again, maybe counter charm isn't really necessary either. But who knows? I mean, we could run into a stupid tree. I don't know.
That's what happened the last time.
I think
I ran
it's
into stupid trees.
probably safer
Trees
to
are
have it on.
normally smart.
Yeah. This tree was bad. I don't know. I feel safer with the counter charm on.
Hmm.
Plus, we know that Fae really like music, but don't dance with them.
Nope.
And I don't know. Let's keep going. And I can always, when we get closer, I can always have Peggy Sue look a little ahead of us, or I can use my arcane eye if we have to.
And Jasper can always scout ahead, but he can't actually talk to me.
Okay.
You just have them use special signal call. Like that.
Yeah. I mean, we can always have one of us write Jasper
It's true.
if we need to. And I do have my sending spell ready. I wasn't planning to use it for this, but I have it ready.
Yep.
Anyway.
I always have sending, so
Yeah. Well, let's keep going. Let's go a little closer. I wanna have the. I don't think we're gonna get anything done here.
Yeah.
All right, descending
Rick.
the other side of the hill. Are you still playing your song, Mordecai, or did you stop? That?
Always.
All right.
I am not stopping.
Noted. Duly noted. With a violin tune in tow, you tip, 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 tip down the hillside, and it is warm, very comfortable. You even see where a water is... Nope, that's the drawing tool. Where some water is spilling out of the bubbling spring. Pardon me. That is... it's not necessarily in a valley, but the way that the trees and everything else kind of has bunched up, it's almost creating an artificial one here, using the hill as support. But the water does seem to disappear into the base of the hill down below, and it ripples and dances with the glowing mushrooms as everything is still dark. The winds have died down due to the massive flora that has been baffling the cool breezes and such. And there is...
Does the water have any letters floating in it?
Bright perception or arcana would work also. You've been exposed to stuff like this before.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy choice for me.
No, you know. I would custom tailor it if you wanted to go perception. I might describe it differently, or you get something that you wouldn't get otherwise.
No, I don't want perception.
Okay.
But my arcana is bad again today, 16.
Well, 16's not terrible. It does perhaps appear the way that the ripples in the water could be forming similar letters. Unfortunately, the script is itself is flowing, if not made to travel on the water or through the water. So it could very well be the case where a lot of little motes of light and such are playing as it's flowing through the water. But maybe with any sort of ambient energy, fey energy, the magics, you're not 100% certain.
Okay. I don't see any weird letters in the water. Oh no, I mean, these fae, water always means something to them. They're really, really tied to the water. I think if we really want to screw over the fae, we should probably hit them in the water. That's where they would hurt the most. But it doesn't seem like this is necessarily exactly the same as that they've been communicating with. We don't know that for sure. Yeah, not yet. Do we want to stop and spend some time? I could cast a detect magic, but it would take 10 minutes.
Honestly, yeah, finding a defensible position and having you suss out the lay of the land is probably a good idea.
I mean, it's just detect magic. It's not detect everything.
Well, yeah, but I mean, when you're dealing with stuff like this, magic is the more important part. We have Casimir for the rest.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to find a defensive position, I'll start casting detect magic.
And
while she's doing that, I'm gonna ritual cast comprehend languages.
Okay.
And while they're doing that,
the ritual train starts.
That does mean that the counter charm goes down for that 10 minutes.
It's okay. I don't think we're imminently in danger.
Oh, that's right. That's not as good as I thought it was. Never mind. Can't do that.
All right, so Mordecai and Bright are casting rituals. Casimir, are you doing anything?
Did you say there was letters in water or no?
Bright
It didn't look like there were letters. They were just little sparkles, and I tried to make out any magical or any language significance to them, and I couldn't. But, you know, maybe there's something in there that I just didn't see. I don't know.
I happen to know so. That's why.
Okay. Casimir, if this is curious to you, you could go spend some time watching the water for, alphabet soup. Would you like to do that, or is there something else you'd like to do while... you need to give 2 of your mages here at least 10 minutes of security of some variety. Well, you don't have to, but I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
I mean, if need be, I can erect a really large wall.
I can stand nearby, looking imposing.
Okay. Jacob, what are you doing then, standing in the midst of these giant trees and fungus and just in this area, this weird, dislocated place?
Observing for familiar mushrooms, as well as any other movement that may be detected. Primarily, I am also looking for evidence that the Fomorians came this way. If they are in fact going to war, and they were ahead of us, it would imply that they are down here somewhere. So, if they've come down here, they would presumably leave some form of trace to their presence. And if that's the case, I want to know exactly what we're dealing with.
Oh, and Matty, just as a point, if primeval awareness spans out to 6 miles for Casimir, and you have declared that the Fomorians count as fave for him, would they still come up?
They would.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how Mordecai would know this, but I'm just clarifying the rule.
I'm fine with that. All right, Jacob, make a perception at advantage. Since you're looking around. Oh, wait, you're looking for tracks and such. I'm sorry, give me survival at advantage. Ooh, all right.
You just had to take my good roll, didn't you?
Well, that was my bad. You know what I will do?
No. Where it lay, once it's laid, let it play. I don't mind. I'm just busting you.
All right.
Because
well,
we all know
we were
Derek
due a Derek roll anyway, so
Yeah, let's be honest here, okay?
We have
I'm
our
the guy who
Derek
can
roll.
I can literally roll a 0 on a hit, d20, okay? It's been proven.
All right, so Jacob, you're looking around for tracks, signs of Fomorian presence, and you're not seeing any yet. Maybe you're not looking in the right place. Maybe this place reset like the grass did outside, meaning that tracks maybe filled in or snapped back or whatnot. But right now you're a little baffled as you're looking around. What I can give you, though, as a part of this, even with a 5 survival, is that many mushrooms look the same. You're not seeing brain mushrooms. You're not seeing little eyeball spy mushrooms that grow in people's houses under their beds. These are different mushrooms. So there's that.
Well, that is both helpful and not helpful at the same time. Well, I guess we have to continue, though I am keeping my eye on all those little shrooms that are probably going to come up and try and bludgeon us all to death, especially the one with the violin.
Well. Casimir, you can speak Sylvan as you go to the little stream that is pouring from the spring. You plop down next to it and you look for patterns and such. Make an investigation as you're trying to piece together maybe the patterns. Oof, look at that. Look at that 20.
I know what's going on here, I think.
Now that you're really looking at it, you are picking up words, maybe? It's kind of fractured, as this is kind of an alphabet soup, but you are seeing portions of words, things that are at least getting you to think that in some capacity this is this is not just random ripples. You also might be insane. I'll let you choose which. But you're only getting, anything wouldn't be reports from the field at X o'clock on this day. You're seeing a, the, toward, 10. Things like that are just sort of faintly appearing to you. Celine, I would like you during this time as well. I would like you to make either a history or a nature roll.
History it will be.
16 or a 16. We'll
I
take
think I'll go with the 16.
good call. That's what I would have done.
I would have gone with 16.
Yeah, I'm kind of
think
with
it's
Kaz
best
on this
too.
one.
There's
Good
something
choices.
something about this place, Celine, is really something seems familiar about it to you. The answer
Well,
is not immediately becoming clear. It's reminding you of what? What is it reminding you of? Though there seems to be an odd, if detached, familiarity with.
is it reminding me of the mines in Browbeat? Because we saw light up fungus and all sorts of weird stuff in there too.
The question is that reminding you?
There's some similarities, but it's nothing that your examining mind, your scientific mind would take. Like, it's a coincidence, but you're not convinced. All right. And we'll say that this is the first 5 minutes of the 10 minutes that our two casters need. Jacob, would you like to continue to try and track, or do you want to do something different?
I'm going to continue to track.
Okay, go ahead
Yeah, I
and
need to
survival.
know what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Yep, only 6.
Well, no. You still have time. You're not in a rush or anything. This is at advantage. You are finding now, you must have been looking in the wrong patch, or maybe things that were indentations weren't, well, you're used to looking at certain other footprints or hoof prints, or, if the Dragonborn are around, they leave a different claw print. And you are seeing several large footprints that are, you're almost like scooting by Casimir, as Casimir is ducking down by the waters here, and it looks like the footprints go into the water. As you're finding an indentation, you're finding an indentation that goes down into it after giant footprints that look better than what I'm drawing, but you get the idea.
I am actually going to drop casting comprehend languages, and I am going to cast locate creature on dragon.
Okay.
Locate creature?
I took locate creature.
You could specify a type of creature, right? Just the closest member of a specific.
If I'd known you were gonna take locate creature, I wouldn't have taken locate creature.
Wow. Oh no!
Well,
I knocked
No.
something on my
I
keyboard.
have it on my list too, so
There we go.
There's gonna
it's
be
better to have
overlap
multiple
between
people
full
to cast it.
casters.
I had so many spells I wanted to take.
I'm sorry.
locate creature is generally better for you to take anyway because of the expert divination.
I know.
Mordecai, there's a dragon 10 feet to your left.
Oh no. Oh,
Who is 10 feet to Mordecai's left?
10 feet to Mordecai's left and about 5 feet down from eye level is Bright sitting in the moss, casting a ritual.
Right?
Right.
Hey,
Why do you...
I'm casting this spell.
You're detecting as the dragon.
No.
Yeah, you
That
are.
one is not dragon. What are you talking about?
Doesn't look like a dragon, but she's... I cast a spell to locate a creature, and she's... A dragon is right where Bright is standing.
Hey.
Dragons get that small.
Only pseudo-dragons. Still casting my detect magic.
Okay.
I mean... Oh, here's a funny thing. I cast Nistel's magic aura all the time on myself so that I wouldn't light up to, to those detecting plants that
Yep.
the flower fields have. But I never set myself to look like a dragon. But it is the kind of spell that exists that can change the way you show up to divination magic, and
Yes.
and it could definitely foul up locate creature. But the thing is, I haven't done that. So yeah, and also I'm not a dragon because check me out.
Duh.
She technically also wouldn't read undead because she spent a month
And no,
reading herself.
I fixed that, so I just show up like a gnome.
Oh, okay. So yeah, my original. No, all right. So that's fine. That is still in the works then. So I was correct with only the one. But
I mean, we
but
always
no,
see
no,
Mordecai
dragon
was
is
the
still
undead.
dragon is detected.
Hey, well, let me finish my detect magic, and if I mean, I can maybe detect myself and see if I'm wearing some kind of disguise spell. But, promise I'm not a dragon.
Super duper promise.
I'm gonna start like moving because that's a concentration spell, so I can start moving and see if something else on my radar pings as that if I get further away from her.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, you can
And
spend
I
your
get
time
closer to
experimenting. So Jacob finds Prince. Mordecai, you're trying to triangulate the location of the dragon that you're sensing.
If it gets closer to me than she is to me, then it'll show up on my radar.
Okay. Celine, would you like to continue to ponder, or do you want to do something differently?
Yeah, I'll continue to ponder. Another history check.
Yeah.
16.
16. You know, I think it's not so much that these things... Well, they certainly don't grow in Mesomasca now. But now that you're thinking about it, back to your studies, this is kind of reminding you of the Dragon Graveyard, of when you spent your time there. And there's no real names per se that are coming up, but you know, dragons are certainly, you know, large, powerful creatures. This was a time of well, I know we're playing in a fantasy world, but even to people living in a fantasy world, this was a time of fantasy, of you know, giants and dragons stomping around the world. Things were a lot bigger back then.
This might be a stretch, but you know how Jade said that the gear might be spinning the wrong way?
She said that several times before.
Yeah, but now I'm inclined to believe her in a much more literal sense.
How do you mean?
This area reminds me of the dragon graveyard in my readings before it was the dragon graveyard.
As in, like, we've gone back in time or something.
Not that we've gone back in time, but the world is. That we're in some kind of reality restructuring reversion event.
I don't
That's a
like
lot of
that.
big words.
So basically, we went back in time.
Kinda, yeah.
It's
like
more
there is
like if
primeval-
back in time went to us.
Yeah, it's like we're in a primeval forest, like the
Mm,
kind of
mm.
forest that would have been around when the dragons ruled the skies. The kind of plants that would have gone along with such large creatures.
Huh.
My
Yeah.
ritual done yet?
Not just yet, because I need to know what Casimir's doing during this 5 minutes also.
I was arguing that little one was not dragon.
Okay. That's simple enough. Alright, so unless there's any other reactions to what Celine is theorizing to you all, the egg timer ding goes off, and Bright, your ritual is complete.
So, first thing I want to check is if I'm a dragon.
You don't see anything that you aren't expecting on you.
Okay, that's good. So am I, like, radiating any kind of weird magic that I'm not expecting to be radiating?
Make another Arcana.
Okay. Do-do-do. Goodness sakes, 17.
17. There does seem to be kind of a blotch, like a discoloration of your aura that is hanging out on your shoulder. Just like, yeah, like, I don't know, you threw something over your shoulder, and it's just sort of like it's a magical discoloration on you.
Did I, like, get something in my floof?
No, it would be on the unfloofed side. It would complement your floof.
Of course, because, I mean, I don't have my floof, and it doesn't protect my shoulder anymore. So it could pick up all kinds of magical problems.
Yeah.
But okay, 1 second. 1 second. Oh, poot. There it is. Do I have anything on my shoulder?
It does appear that you have a small silver dragony worm on your shoulder.
Hi. So it turns out there's actually a dragon. And I know none of you can see it, but there's totally a dragon. And I didn't notice him before, because apparently he's the kind of dragon that doesn't weigh anything. But there's this dragon here, and so nothing to worry about. He was right here. Hi, Mr. Dragon, or Miss Dragon, as the case may be.
It's not speaking Draconic to you.
That's good.
But it is the dragon that has been offering you these interesting riddles along the way. And real quick, iTyrant Games, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome. Welcome, iTyrant and friends. Yeah, you get to raid us. That's great. Yeah, we're conducting an investigation in a kind of a primeval forest. So if you have questions or whatnot, you're welcome to talk in chat. This isn't, Oh, look at those emotes. I love them.
It's not fun to hunt something so small.
But yeah, this seems to be that silvery
have to give it a few years.
little worm dragon that has been talking to you and giving you these riddles along the way. It just looks at you and kind of does a little shrug.
Hi, Mr. Dragon. Do you eat crickets? Okay. So, I you to finish your next riddle because we solved the last one. We know that it's like an old man who's waiting to die. But I mean, I'm ready for the next one if you want. Okay. Well,
It stares at you as you say that.
Okay. Well, just go ahead and stay there for a while, but don't, like, breathe on me. I mean, you can breathe on me, but just, like, normal breath, not dragon breath. I mean, I know all your breath is dragon breath, but, you know, just the comfortable kind. And, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. So, Peggy Sue, you're gonna have to sit on my other shoulder for a while, and I know that's the way you like it anyway, because there's a floof there that you can crawl around in. But, yeah, I guess, but no more pets, because I'm out of shoulders.
It makes a little and it's speaking. It mumbles something in Draconic, and Peggy Sue's antenna kind of bloop.
So, I guess I'll put my helm on. Comprehend languages.
As you do, Peggy Sue is like crawling. And the little you can still kind of you know you can go to do this, but she's scampering across your head, and the little silver dragon kind of does a come here motion to Peggy Sue.
You can't see her, but it's a contrast problem, not a. Oh, goodness sakes! Goodness sakes! I have the appropriate prop.
Hey, there we go. I like it. I love it.
Okay, here. Well, I'll just be here on my shoulder.
Yeah, that's
there we go. There we go.
Bright, is there a way for you to make the dragon visible? You kind of look like you're talking to yourself.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I could cast Fairy Fire, but I can't cast Fairy Fire. And the only way he can be invisible, I mean, he would have to make himself visible. I don't think I have anything that'll do it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have anything that'll do it.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna say in Draconic, hey, make yourself visible.
No. reply
No.
from it?
Damn.
No.
It's worth a shot.
Well, I've got my helm on. You can't tell because I have too many things on right now. But I have my helm on, and yeah. So if the dragon says anything, I should understand it.
It seems to it very make a perception at disadvantage as it's leaning forward and whispering something to a cricket, so you know it's super soft.
I'll go ahead and roll that. 6.
6. You see the interaction. Peggy Sue just seems to give a Peggy Sue seems to give a little bit of a nod, and Peggy Sue hops off your shoulder and starts bouncing over towards Casimir.
Hey, so so I have telepathic link with Peggy Sue.
Yep.
Don't come near me, small cricket.
What do you have against a cricket?
You're ringing since moonrise.
Yeah, he's
There's
just
none.
afraid Peggy Sue will crawl in her ear again.
Don't
But
do that.
Peggy Sue's not gonna crawl in your ear.
But they're not.
It's a
Uncomfortable.
special
Not good for
one-time
health.
deal. Probably
Peggy
not good
Sue,
for the health of the cricket either.
Casimir, like, this thing's bouncing up. You're like, don't come near me, little, and it keeps bouncing towards you. Are you backing away from the cricket as it's advancing on you, or leaps onto your knee?
Oh, cricket's gone. Okay.
I mean, shoot, go.
You're gonna try and shoo it away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shoo.
Peggy
That's
Sue is
cricket.
very determined and leaps up from your knee onto your chest, and then it's looking directly at you. The instant, at least you can't swing a weapon at it.
Hey, I wanna feel
Bad.
through Peggy Sue while this is all
Okay.
going on. I want to see her.
Peggy Sue has a feeling of urgency, and importance. It's chirping, and Peggy Sue's pointing her antennas at you, and then turning the antennas over towards Bright, and then it's slowly kind of crawling up, favoring going towards where you're covering your ear, kind of like tickling your jaw a little bit.
Can I grab her?
Sure.
Casimir, why don't you just let her do it? I promise it won't. It
No.
won't be too bad.
I do not consent.
You grab Peggy Sue the cricket.
Yes.
Okay.
Casimir,
Gently
you
as I
should
can.
really let her do the thing she wants to do.
Uh-oh, that's a good suggestion. All right, wisdom
It'll
saving
just
throw.
be easier for everyone that way.
10 is below the 10 is below the save for an experienced wizard such as Bright. You're holding Peggy Sue. Big cricket eyes
Sorry,
just shine
Casimir.
in the supernatural light.
Bright, you owe me money.
It's okay.
And Casimir, you're hearing a faint chirp. Sounds slightly apologetic. You're getting kind of an empathic feel with the cricket. You're not understanding Peggy Sue for the words that she's chirping. You are getting a feeling of apology and a feeling of importance. Do you have animal handling by chance?
Yes.
Or do you have any spells that let you understand animals?
No, I don't talk to animals. I kill animals.
Your animal
I'm pretty
skills
sure rangers
should
have an innate ability to talk to creatures.
No.
be
No, that's
forest
not-
gnomes and furbolgs can.
No.
No, I think that's more of a druid thing than a ranger thing. I don't know.
Then go ahead and make an animal handling skill check. Roll. Woof, 24, nice.
I don't
All right.
like you near small cricket.
This thing, I'm much like how a kitten comes up to you when it's starving and it needs a morsel. This Peggy Sue seems to need you, and it also seems to respect you. You're getting from her manipulations here, and is urging you to go towards Bright. And as you are following the suggestion of Bright,
I will walk towards Bright.
all right, you walk towards Bright, and you understand that to mean that you should unsling your battle axe.
Okay. Bright, well, this was your idea?
True. I don't know what she's doing, but I trust Peggy Sue very much.
I don't think you should.
Please don't hit
And-
me with your battle axe.
Casimir, you look down at Bright, and I need you to make an attack. You can have advantage on this, actually, as you are being aided by Peggy Sue.
Can I not?
Hey,
Can I not have advantage? That is question. Hold on,
Oh,
let me-
no.
Let me just look at my stings.
Something's been charmed. Oh no.
1 second. Left. Hold on.
Hey, you're level 10 now. You should be better at hitting stuff, right? In some way.
Well, level 11 actually.
Oh, I'm sorry, not level 10. You were level 10.
Hold on. I'm just checking. I have many different things that I'm not. Hold on. Bright has not taken damage yet,
No.
but let's see. Okay.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right.
What is that? 15? 15 doesn't hit me.
A 15 does not hit Bright. As Bright, you flinch away, and there is a moment, though, Casimir, where your axe makes contact with something, and for a moment there's just you feel a little resistance, and there's a little light, like a little silver light go, and something now visible rolls off of Bright's shoulder and into the ferns in the grass by her.
Okay, so the
Well,
first
that
thing
was
I'm gonna
not
do.
fun hunt.
I am tackling Casimir.
Okay.
What in the hell is that, Casimir? And then I'm also gonna dismiss Peggy Sue.
All right.
So she goes poof.
Peggy Sue goes poof.
I will
she's
not
going to-
resist tackle.
She's going to her place. She's not like permanently dismissed. She's
She's
just
going to her
place.
corner. Think about what
Yeah,
she's done.
she's going to her room. Peggy Sue's in timeout. Yeah.
Like maybe you could dismiss her before I attack.
So I assume that he killed the dragon.
Yes.
Oh, that's bad news, but it's also, so see, when you kill a dragon, it's supposed to be all hype, but it's really not as fun as you think it's gonna be. So
Yeah, we
let's
should know we've killed one.
glee now. So I want to run over to the. I mean, I should have seen where it went
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah. It shimmers in the supernatural light.
Okay, and I want to pick it up and see what the deal is.
Okay. You scoop this little thing in your hands, and it appears to be a headless little wiggly worm silver dragon. And as you're holding it, its body begins to stiffen, and its legs, like its arms and legs, kind of turn into little V's, though they're more lengthwise along it than sort of like roadkill, which is sort of spread eagle on there. And it's the end of its tail forms a little loop, and then along its lengthy body, several rings form, and written on each of the rings are several letters. And you now seem to be holding a piece of metal with little prongs, 4 little prongs on one end, a little curled point into a circle at the other, and in the middle there are bands that each have that you can twist to arrange for different letters.
It's cryptex.
What's that, Celine?
It's a
Have you
cryptex.
seen like a decoder ring?
Yeah, kinda.
So are the letters? I mean, I'm wearing my helm.
I have
So-
no idea what the answer is, by the way. It's just that's what I get. That's what I get just by looking at it.
So I'm wearing my helm, so I should be able to read it even if it's not in common, even if it's in Draconic or Sylvan. But I should also hopefully be able to tell which one it is.
Yeah, it's actually written in common in a very nice, fancy script. They haven't written common like this in quite some time. It's a very old. It'd be like us looking at old English letters, but you can still make them out.
Well, that's super, super weird. So, I mean, that's the weirdest thing ever.
This whole thing has been weird.
Yeah. So is it so did my detect magic ever resolve, or did it get interrupted by this?
No, it's still up. You have it.
Okay. So was the dragon glowing as magic before he got killed, and is he glowing with magic now that after he's been killed?
Yes, and yes and yes. It is glowing with slight abjuration magic.
And was it glowing with the same kind before?
It was glowing with illusion magic before.
Makes more sense. Abjuration, man. So it's glowing with abjuration. So that's weird. I don't understand any of this. I understand that much. So, looking at the rings, is there any, like, obvious pattern to them? Does it look like I'm supposed to spell a word with them, like twist them to form a word, or...
Each of the rings has, Cat, he wants to take up the very minimal amount of space. Let's... There are those 7 letters. However, there are 8 bands on the main shaft of the item you're holding.
Okay. So those are the first letters of all the answers to all the riddles that we had. So I think we need one more riddle to get the last letter on the band.
So the riddle.
The last riddle was the one about the old man, right?
Yeah, death.
Death.
We haven't actually, like, formally checked that riddle in. Hopefully we didn't just kill it. That would be unfortunate.
Yeah.
Bright, you shouldn't trust your little cricket friend.
I still trust my cricket friend. It's just something very strange is going on.
Well, I do not trust your little cricket friend.
Well,
My ear is ringing again.
your 7 letters, 8 bands, 8 riddles.
She didn't even crawl in your ear.
Yep.
I mean, not for very long, at least.
Does someone have to die? Because that seems like a terrible riddle.
What, the dragon didn't count?
So the riddles
Doesn't
were
even have... Question,
sleep.
where did its head go?
So the riddle answers were
Good question. You want to search for
sleep.
it?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception. Jacob, what are you doing during all this?
Observing in utter confusion as to what just happened.
Okay.
I was going to end up
Same.
following these tracks and trying to end up seeing, okay, maybe the fomorians went underwater. Well, why would they go underwater? I wanted to investigate that, but now apparently we got a dead puppy with wings on our hands.
Well, it's not so much that. Bright looks like she's holding, in mundane terms, Bright looks like she's holding onto a really, like, elaborate and large silver key.
Wait.
What? Think out loud.
Oh no.
Tulane.
I have a thought. Death.
Okay.
What if it's not that someone has to die? What if it's someone that's already died? Who died very recently?
A lot of people have died.
Me,
Okay.
technically.
Better question. Better question.
I mean-
Who did we kill recently?
Little dragon. That is
That's
Mr.
the
Halver.
tower.
Halver.
Yeah, the tower.
Or Mr. Halver. Either of them could be it.
It could be Mr. Halver, but it could also be the tower.
The tower? No, it can't be the tower. It can't be the man at the tower. This was already happening before then.
Well, no.
It'd be
The
Mr.
death.
Halver, though.
That could be the death that it's referring to.
But he doesn't match. He doesn't match the description.
He was an old man. He was white and grizzled.
He wasn't just a normal man. He wasn't old. He wasn't yearning for death.
Well, to be fair, it could be argued in the last 3 or 4 seconds of his life, he was most certainly pleading for it. Burning
Takes that
alive
long.
might do that to somebody.
Didn't take that long.
No D on
Trying
the
to
ring.
end up.
But wait, no D, but there is an R.
Yeah, I remember looking at the letters all the time
So is-
before,
is-
and
so is
they
that-
match.
So is that 2 O's or is it just 1 R?
Well, the O is actually kind of the odd one, because the first letters, they were E
Could it
and
be
N.
Morning Orlans?
I mean, it could be Orlans. He was an O, at least.
Wait. So the answer to the riddles. Sleep. There was a lantern.
Yeah. They're actually all in the scroll back as well. We don't necessarily have to think about them. We just have to go back and
Vowels
scroll.
is V. Leaf.
That plays in that.
Yeah, lantern,
Um,
sleep, nest, the leaf, and or / Mordecai, vowels, eyes, and
yeah,
axe.
nest. Yeah, so it's a double letter. Yeah, so sleep, lantern, nest, vowels, leaf.
Yeah.
Yes, also it's a double letter.
Oh, there were 2 L's. If the second one is leaf and not Mordecai, could have been Mordecai.
Well, no, it was leaf, as that was the word. That was the answer to the riddle. After that riddle, which one was next?
They were lantern, sleep, nest, leaf, vowels, eyes, and axe.
So sleep, lantern,
Lantern first, then sleep, then
Sleep,
nest,
yep. That's
then the leaf,
sleep,
then the vowels,
vowels,
then the eyes, and then the axe.
vowels, eyes, axe, and then O. Yeah, no, O is the odd one out there. We haven't had one with whose answer is O.
Old.
Old!
Yeah, old.
Old! Okay. Could be old. So if it's old and not death, then, but then there's only 1 L. Where's the second L? There was a leaf
Lantern and
and
leaf.
a lantern.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Condensed.
2 L's.
Or maybe the lantern
Yeah,
doesn't
it
count
might be
because it was
condensed.
first for some reason.
Jacob, I need you to make an investigation, and you can have advantage on this, as people are puzzling things out, but your mind might actually be in a unique position for what's going on here. You've seen a lot of criminal reports before. You've had to fill in a lot of empty spaces on those criminal reports. You've written out so many reports.
Always keep it ink and a quilt with you. You will need them always.
They're mentioning names like Orlans. Orlans doesn't fit, and that's a really weird name, even in a fantasy setting.
It's right up there with Oscar. Doesn't belong.
There's a good chance that this is a name. You're looking at the LL, and in being a street investigator here, alley, like alleyways and stuff. You're starting to just mention words, but no one's named Alley. At least not their name, unless it's a street name. You've probably run into a couple alleys or a nickname. Though this might be quite a contrivance for someone who only has a nickname. And in thinking about it, you're like, so this whole thing is about the tower. Is about something. What? They mentioned a Halver, but Halver doesn't. There's a V. V's a really weird letter, even for people here in Mesomasca to have in their name. But who could be, if you're aligning the evidence to come up with a suspect from the clues, do you have someone that could be affiliated with the tower, has an odd name?
Someone affiliated with the tower.
And if I don't need to put words in your mouth necessarily, but this could be, you could express this, Jacob, if you wish for the public to ponder.
I do so.
Okay. Because you all had split your investigations and such as well.
So it's supposed to be a name. Would I know of a name, like a Mesomascan name, that would use all of those letters? Or would it be an obscure name?
This would be an obscure name, most likely.
Yeah, is that all the letters there? Because I'm pretty sure that is.
Mm.
Yep, there are 8 letters in what was put out there. For those of you in the audience who can't see what they're typing, it's good pondering.
A V.
This is tricky.
Question. Do V's occur commonly in Shadahari Common? Oh, that's true, yeah.
That will take forever to get all the combinations for that, though.
Tell you what, Celine, roll a history.
That's a history.
There are some Mesotopians, in a sense, but especially Shadowhar, they do have some interesting, last names, and a lot of them tend to be where they're from. It's not super common as a family name, but they're from something. But the Shadowhar don't use the common word for from. There's a northern variant of from.
Yeah. Would I have heard it? Von, yeah.
Von Ale.
Von Ale, yeah!
Oh my.
Oh
Grimhilder.
no!
We think Grimhilder set the fire?
Or she's the key to something.
Well, try changing the...
Yeah, let's turn the letters and see if we can do
Turn
that.
the letters to Von Arlay?
Whoops.
The letters begin to glow orange, red, black, and the silver key picks up a very faint heat.
I'm twisting it too fast. It's getting hot.
I tend to be a little bit more resistant to heat. If you want me to try it.
It's not that hot. It's not burning yet.
So that's what happens. What happens?
We'll wait for Matty
Matty.
to stop eating.
No, it lights up and gets warm. That's what happens.
Oh, okay. I thought there was more coming.
I thought so too.
The bands lock into place. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So
we know...
does it open? Or?
The guy with the crowbar alone and goes with the guy with the gun.
So what do we do with the key now? Go back to the tower, or?
I don't know. I haven't been looking for a lock for a key. I was just...
Yeah.
to the riddles, which I guess we have.
I suppose it's time to pull a big thing out of my butt. Because I prepared this just in case I thought that we might need it.
Hey,
Oh, except I only have the one part of that.
well, what is the thing you're gonna do? So maybe we can help with it.
I was gonna cast Legend Lore, but
Oh, but you don't have the... You don't have the components?
I have the ivory strips. I don't have the incense.
I've got some incense. How much do you need?
250 gold pieces worth.
Oh, I don't have that much incense.
I don't think we
Yeah.
Well, we have a bunch of things that we could sell in town to be able to buy incense, but
If
Would
we're coming
we
back to
be
town, I
able
could
to
just do
make
the
incense?
research.
We are in forest. Could get
It's true.
certain things.
We could just gather the plants here. They have magic properties, probably. So
Okay, I'm just going to need to end up asking this since clearly no one's going to explain it. Who are we referring to when it comes to this Von Alays?
name is Grimhilder von Allee. She's very bad. See the way you think about us, you should be thinking that about her. She was someone who traveled with Norelai, who was the one who died right when you joined us.
her brother, actually.
Yeah, her brother. I think he's dead as well now. But he was traveling with her for a while, and they're people.
Grimhilder von Allee was, if I remember correctly, is a demon summoner, maybe? I don't know exactly, but she was on her way to Oldport to find an artifact, if I remember right.
We met her in Oldport, Norelai and I did. While you guys were in, where you guys were,
Aslandia.
as I like to call it. Yeah, we met her. We tracked down Loki, and Norelai talked to him, but they
Who's
didn't
Loki?
hit. Loki was Norelai's brother, the one who traveled with Grimhilder, and they didn't. Norelai lost her brother a long time ago, so she really wanted to find him, and so she was looking for him for a long time, and we finally found him in Oldport.
That was
Everyone else was up
Master
north.
War. Yeah.
Yeah, and before we met you, and so she went to talk to her brother, and her brother sent her away. He said he was dangerous and he didn't want to talk to her anymore. It was really sad, and I wanted her to go after him and try to make things right because she put so much time and so much effort into finding him, and then to just let him walk away, it was really disappointing. But that's what happened, and he flew out the window because that's the sort of thing that happens around us. And then well, anyway, then we met Grimhilder on the way out, and she was kind of gloating about the whole thing. It was really crappy, but that's just how she is. And I wanted to fight her, actually, but she just wanted to go home. So that's what we did. But anyway, she was in Mask of Horns as recently as just a week or two ago. Maybe she's still there. Maybe she caused the fire. I don't know.
What motive would she possibly have to cause that?
Don't know.
To what benefit? I'll give you a hint, Jacob.
Don't give me a hint. State the facts. Don't do any of this tipping around the bush. You either don't know or you do.
No, stop beating around the bush. Just listen. Grimhilda is the kind of person who derives pleasure in the pain of others. More specifically, those who have lost their minds. She likes causing chaos wherever she goes.
To what end?
Well, she's connected to some kind of fiendish being, if I remember correctly. So, probably to serve as that fiendish being's agenda.
Yeah, the fiendish being in question. We met a man on the road. It was before we met you. And he, his name was Bambardalus, and he lived in the forest, and he lived there with his 2 sons, and his ex-wife was a demon, and I know sometimes people say that, but she was actually a demon, and I think she was the one that Grimhilda gets her power from.
Jacob, make a history at advantage, please. You know that name, Bambardalus. He's that old man who lived on the outskirts of Greenshield with his 2 sons. You know, people would always murmur about his.
You mean the boys with the, like, almost tiefling on one half and human expression on the other?
They lived on the woods. People would make stuff up, especially because his twin sons were kind of weird. They were never bad people. Although, Jacob, you remember, you got a report that a bunch of loggers went missing. And you were part of that team that went out and saw several logging camps had missing people. And all the bodies were found around Bambardalus and Sons' campsite. Bambardalus and his 2 boys weren't present. It looks like they left in some kind of a hurry. There's definitely signs of a battle. But Greenshield lost a lot of good men. They were thought missing, maybe incorporated into all this weird fairy tale stuff that's been happening. And these people are just bringing up something that happened outside of Greenshield. With someone, it's not like you drink beer with them every Saturday night or something, but, being a beat cop, you hear about the odd folk, people that come up as maybe suspects in some way. Always a bit of a loner, not necessarily a bad guy in your initial opinion, but something happened, a bunch of people died, and you didn't find Bambardalus or his sons. But you did find all the bodies of the missing loggers.
He starts writing this down in his book.
And it sounds like this Von Allais character is mixed up in this.
One way or the other. So what happened to Mr. Bambardalus and his children?
I don't know where they went. We were all at his house together. We got attacked by... we got attacked by the servants of the demon. We fought them off. They were in human bodies, but they weren't humans. And he's left. He didn't tell us where he was going, but I'm pretty sure he was afraid that his ex-wife had found him and was going to come after him again, so he went somewhere else, and I don't know where. I could ask him if you want. I could send him a text.
He said he was going to find some place safe for his sons.
But
then maybe head to Oldport.
But he didn't bother to end up checking.
No way to be sure that he's still, accessible. Someone like that, he has probably can travel to another, to another place. By which I mean a place that's not here. Kind of like where we are now. He could go someplace like this, and then I probably couldn't talk to him. try.
There's a visible look of frustration upon Investigator Jacob Stillwater's face.
You know more than you did 5 minutes ago, so that's good.
Yes, but now I also know that at this point, rather than end up coming to the law, he decided to take his two children and end up running off. So that's a remarkable lack of confidence in that.
The law is good if you have trouble with burglars or sometimes even with
The law isn't equipped
With
to
the
handle
mob.
demons.
But a group of ragtag adventurers are. Ones without formal training, ones who are running away from their past, one who have left their homeland, one who have left to something or other. I'm sure the story involves faith. This is equipped.
we have a lot of formal training.
More equipped than the law, let me tell you that much.
Selena and I have spent many years training. And so is Mordecai. We've all spent a lot of time training. And I don't know about Casimir. Maybe he trained, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But
He's a hunter. That
experience.
requires training.
Part-time.
We're all equipped. We're all trained differently. We're not specifically lawmen, but
It's not homogenous training, but we've all done training. More training than 90% of the lawmen in this land.
continually growing even.
Especially since, trust me, you ask any lawman, have you gone toe-to-toe with a demon before? And I imagine maybe one or two might raise their hand.
The ones that are still alive.
Yeah, well, ones that are still alive to begin with. And if you ask them, have you done any adventuring before you became a lawman? And a bunch of them will go, yes. Yes, we did. Because that's what happens. The law is not equipped to handle the kinds of things that we fight. In fact, the things that we fight make us...
most of the time I think that we're not.
As you're talking, the more you talk, the more Jacob has this look in his eye like he's really curious on how easy it is to tear your head from its shoulders.
Selena,
like you are
as that's happening,
as
make
you
a dex
continue,
save.
you are just digging yourself a deeper hole.
Not the best idea, but okay.
What can we do, Jacob? What? I mean, the evidence is here. What more do you need?
Dex save, Celine. While the conversation's happening.
Wait, dex save?
Yes, please.
Oh boy. Okay. Dexterity save. Don't fail me now. Wait. Did you?
There it goes.
Dexterity.
Failed you
save.
now.
Give me my
Sorry.
dex.
No.
Give me my dice back.
Now, hold on a second. Is
Failed you already. You
Hold
can
on.
keep rolling.
give me a second.
I swear I'll get it eventually.
Give me my dice back.
It rolled.
Yeah, I have a 9 and a 10. All right. Celine, as you all are having this heated conversation, something on your back wiggles, and then it stops wiggling, and there's a kind of a wet plop, and in the corner of your eye, Mordecai, you get this more clearly. It looks like something about the size of a sports ball rolls into the little stream right here.
What was that?
That's the eye.
You just lose the eye.
The eye literally just fell out of my bag just then. It's right
Yeah.
there.
I'm gonna conjure up my mage hand and try to pick up the eye with it.
If I can see it, I kind of want to guiding bolt it.
Yeah, but do you want to deal with
Do you
Shaq?
kind of
'Cause
want
I
to
don't
guiding
wanna
bolt it, or do you?
I kind of want to guiding bolt
More accurately, do you?
I mean, you can kind of want to guiding bolt it, but you're gonna have to convert that into a yes or no at some point.
Well, I mean, if he
What's the
doesn't,
worst that could happen?
If it's getting up and walking away, I'm shooting it.
It's not getting up and walking away. It seemed to wiggle free from Celine's
wiggled
bag,
out of the bag?
and it plopped into the grass and through the thick ferns and moss, and you catch it slipping into the water.
That thing does not walk on its own. I am shooting it with a guiding bolt.
It's not walking; it's rolling.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Same thing. 23 to hit.
Well, roll one more time. This thing is under the water, so you have disadvantage to hit. You may still. Okay. 14. You do hit it.
All right, then there's damage. That's a level 1 spell.
Okay. You hit the eye, and underneath the water, as it is rolling this way, it begins to glow. And it disappears into the deeper water after it gets out of the stream area here. But you see this faintly, because your guiding bolt lights it up. It continues to roll, and then bloop, drips out of sight.
I'm
gonna shoot at it again.
You
Still
cannot...
trying to pick it up with my hand. Did I not achieve that before he shot it?
It was no. It was shot. You can try and send it in and scoop and ploop around for it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Make a spellcasting check to see if you can finagle it through water, and because it can only
straight
lift,
up intelligence.
Like 5 pounds. Okay.
Ooh.
That's a green number.
All right. So you get your mage hand, you send it, so it's lit up, and you're like, oh, thanks, I got this, and you can see the target, and your hand goes, and it tries to hold on to this big slimy eyeball, and it slips out as that your mage hand goes to grasp it, and you realize that the harder you grasp, the more galaxies will slip through your fingers.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, hopefully the future learns that lesson.
No, they never do.
Please, the only reason tyrannical rule hasn't worked yet is because I haven't done it.
And after a moment here, Mordecai, you're searching in the water. Bright, you could be splish splashing around, taking a bath with your mage hand. The others are looking, and the water where this water has begun to was burbling up and is presumably the source of the spring. Oh, come on. Some kind of a swirling portal opens up as the pupil of the eye expands, and through it appears to be multi-hued crystals and just mist and swirling colors through the pupil of the eye as it bubbles up, expands, and
Yes, the films of the future.
Does that crystal look familiar? Like browbeat crystals type
Yes.
thing?
It does look like fey crystal.
Would they be the size of a fomorian?
No. These are little hints
thought you meant, like...
hints of this crystal. They're not fomorian shape or size.
Past it. I thought we could see past it and we saw those crystals on the other side. That's what I was getting.
Into the that portal is going to go to a fey place. Let's not.
Hey, we're already in a fey place. It's gonna go to a worse one. Oh, we have lots of choices. We have so many choices right now.
The Fomorians are still out there somewhere.
Wait, actually. Oh
So-
no. What if that's tearing open a hole in the veil between, and we're about to see a bunch of Fomorians?
Jacob,
Seems
will you make
really
a
unlikely
perception?
right now.
That's
Sorry to
what
talk
we were
over you,
looking
Brighton.
for fomorian.
And this is an advantage.
Yeah, there's no pressure or anything. You're peering.
Oh, no. It has to do with the goggles.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yep. So with a 16, you're looking, and you do see that through the portal, through the mists and the swirling energy, there does appear to be a fallen fomorian that's laying face down inside this room or something that is not existent in this grove, that lays beyond the open pupil of the fomorian eye that is expanded into this portal. You're also seeing the bodies of several insectoid people that are also splayed about in this chamber beyond. It looks like there was a fight.
Well,
Yeah, I was getting that.
Well, he was promoted to Captain Obvious not too long before he set out on sabbatical. So.
is there showings of burn marks all around? Perhaps something's still lit on fire or smoldering?
It's difficult to tell with all the other special effects, but you can see that these insectoid people seem to have been pounded and ripped apart. And the fomorian was there might be signs of like stabbing or there seems to be a lot of blood from most likely slashes or puncture wounds.
Well, if I had to guess offhand, fomorians can end up causing this on a moment's notice. That what they need was an appropriate location. The opening of the gate ended up allowing them to go through. In doing so, however, they let some of what was in the gate out. So what we are seeing here is the bleed over. So the longer that remains open, the worse this outside gate. And
Sounds like a reasonable conclusion.
if that's the case, then this is an assumption. I know I'm famous for those. We go in there, we have a certain amount of time before this closes. So any answers we have would be best caught in post-haste. But we know that the Fomorians went in there.
Problem with that being is that portal could close right behind us and we'd be stuck.
Yeah. Portals have that annoying habit. I'm gonna send, how far is it, subjectively speaking, to the bottom? Oh, I thought the portal was like... Oh, I mean to the bottom of the portal. I mean, it's like we're looking down on it, right? So...
That's not a funny
read it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so it's like, well, it's like in Portal, right, where you can shoot the portals and put them on the wall so that you're looking straight across, but you're actually looking down. Is that the situation we're in? Oh, so we're looking into the room from the side. I thought we were looking down up from above. Okay. Okay. Is it though?
Are we going after them? And possibly getting stuck on the other side?
I'd really prefer not to, honestly, unless we know what we're... I just want to find out if it's on the same plane as us or not.
I doubt it.
Okay, I want to throw a rock through the portal.
Okay, you throw a rock through the portal door, and it goes through, and you end up bonking the dead fomorian. Just kind of, it's a big target.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, Mr.
I
Fomorian.
don't think we have a lot of choice, considering we don't have any way to close this. We don't have any way to close this thing.
A dispel magic.
You think dispel magic's gonna work on that thing?
You could try.
Fine then, I will try. I will try a single dispel magic. I'm gonna try dispelling some magic.
The DM appreciates the expenditure of your spell slot. However, we cannot connect your spell at this time.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not
no, I figured that. Yeah, I'm. Celine tries it, and upon it failing miserably, she's like, "Yeah, isn't going away with the dispel magic."
Jacob is standing at the edge of the shore and looks down at his own reflection in the rippling water for a moment. I don't think it's a good idea either. But when's that stopped either of us before? Starts here, walking directly through the portal.
Whoa, shit, wait for me.
Wait. Okay.
And Celine starts running after him. Like, if he's going in there, he's not going alone, so you better either run after us or get stuck.
I'm following.
Okay.
Brad, are you following?
Come on, little one.
We don't have any choice.
We have every choice. We don't have to go. Well, okay, so Jacob, if he gets... Okay, so what, did he have to wade through the water to get to it?
No. Well, I mean, he was probably prepared to do so. However, his feet hit the water, and it's like it's not even water. He can just stride across.
I didn't cast Water Walk.
You did not.
Bright, are you coming?
Remember what happened last time?
I mean... It would be a good way to split the party. It would be the same
It would
groups
be
of
a
people,
magnificent way to split the party.
Don't do it.
It's a bad time.
Right, it would be you by yourself.
Oh, you're going with too?
Yes, of course.
I have things to take care of in the town. I don't want to... I don't want to get stuck down there for 3 days.
Is Jasper going?
Okay. Jasper's going ahead of me. I'm waiting with Bright. Look. What would you do here?
I don't know. I would keep exploring and see what's going on here. We found hardly anything. This is just a random thing that happened. Just because the door opens doesn't mean you have to go through it.
We found the fomorians. They're not anywhere else. What else? What more do you need, Bright?
Just... I have things I need to do in town.
Like?
And I have to fix what I did. And I can't fix it if we're there.
Well, maybe
it's time
you
limited.
can.
Time sensitive. Okay, I'll go with. But you better have me home before midnight.
Well, thankfully we are locked in the same minute of existence for quite a while.
Yeah, that's all I can hope for. Okay, I'll go through.
Okay.
We're in the portal.
Isn't it minute after midnight?
Yes.
Okay. While you were having that discussion as Jacob ran ahead, I typed out what he had initially seen. However, this would be something that all of you would end up seeing as well. And I will presume that Mordecai, Celine, and Bright, you're letting Jacob and Casimir know not to touch the pretty crystals.
Yes.
Okay. So you, while they're densely packed in the swirling portal here, they're not that packed. You don't have to super go to where Jasper would probably have to be more cautious, but again, nothing's chasing you. He's not leaping forward with reckless abandon. So
he's a smart Griffin.
All right. All of you see then, I mean, Bright, even if you're kind of, being drug along the water, digging in your heels into the surface tension, which is a very odd feeling, but hey, you know what? Maybe it's cool once in a lifetime.
I'm only metaphorically digging in my heels.
Yeah. You see
I don't
that,
go, but I will.
This hallway has one dead fomorian that has had multiple stab wounds all over. Though you're seeing 20, 30 dead insectoid people who have been torn in half, their limbs and heads have been removed. And we're talking like crushing, bludgeoning, and tearing, as opposed to the slicing and piercing that the fomorians had received. This is like opening of A New Hope in the hallway of the starship in the first scene here, where there's just a bunch of dead bodies because the Emperors come calling because they want their blueprints back. There was a firefight!
I already tried to set that up. You already told me that there was no fire. That's exactly what I was trying to set up. Like, is there fire?
I know, but I couldn't give you fire on this one. I'll give it to you. Hang in there. But yeah, this is vicious. This is bloody, even though none of the blood belongs to, well, at least a red-blooded humanoid that you know. And there were fomorians made from the high clerics of Ouijas and of their guards. And the fact that one of them died in this initial sauntering into the Fey realm might show that hopefully the hallways ahead are clear. We'll see. But it is here that we will conclude tonight's episode of Pass. Lethality, you have Gathering of Nerds tonight, correct?
Yeah.
What is your level and prompt as we'll play Jackbox 6, hey, while we wait for you to go live.
All right. So the prompt is C, and like my darling fiance before me, I'm also going to be using the epic level supplement. So we're going to level 30 tonight, and I will tell you, look forward to a Kraken.
All right. Level
At
30.
least one.
All right. Well, you better scamper.
We also have a new Kraken mini that I want to.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Is it the paint your own? Did you get that one?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's the Knowles' one. So
yeah.
It's not painted yet, unfortunately, but that's fine.
One of those might make their way into the gacha capsules at some point in time. We'll see. Anyway, you got to get going. So thank you very much to my players for another awesome session. We're leaving on this bit of a cliffhanger of sorts as you enter the Fey realm once more. Well, for 3 of you.
So next week, are we doing Halloween? So it's just like we need to go into the breach. So here we go.
We are going to do Halloween. Well, it'd probably be better to do it on this coming Tuesday. Yes,
this coming Tuesday.
Yeah.
Coming Tuesday,
I was. Yeah. Because otherwise it's the 5th. Yeah, I'm sorry. I messed up where Halloween was falling. Yes. All right. So I'm sorry. By that, what is happening here? Apparently, I'm transporting you to a nightmare realm, which probably works out pretty well because you're going through a Fey portal, and we're gonna have a special Halloween one-shot for each of the characters separately. And so I hope you all are here, as each of the characters is going to be experiencing quite a nightmare. Well, I hope anyway. I don't want to. I don't want to oversell and then not deliver.
I get to participate this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the last one to Celine, it wasn't necessarily scary, but it was confronting.
Are you freaking kidding me?
She still believes the same thing.
I am still, like, absolutely in love with the last one. Like, I don't think you could top. I do not think you could possibly top for Jacob what you did for Jade.
I'll try. I might
that was fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Jade's was so good.
That was a very good episode for Jade.
Alright, so
Oh,
I'm gonna run, and I will get this stuff set up, and you shall see the signal flare in the sky when it is time.
Yeah.
You know, I think the nice thing is we've got 3 characters who didn't get a Halloween story last time. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yep.
that is true.